All right. Excellent, excellent. Okay, with all of that out of the way.
Oh, aren't you adorable? Do you want butter breakfast? Do you want bacon?
Okay. With that out of the way, welcome to this discussion of Candela Obscura Chapter 2. There will be spoilers. Keep that in mind as we go in. There is so much to talk about with this series, this short series. I think the tone was so different from the first chapter, and not that I didn't enjoy the first chapter, I really liked it, but it had such a different tone, and I think it was so clear going into this series that they had done so much work together beforehand as a group to build the characters, to build the character dynamic. There was just so much there. It really felt like they had been playing these characters for years, just the amount of depth that there was to them and the connections between all of them. It was really, really good. It was really good. I feel like this chapter was a lot more focused on the characters versus the plot. Like, the plot was there and it was important, but really it felt like the most important thing was the character stories. And I feel like the first chapter focused more on the plot. And that's not to say, again, like that that's not a bad thing. I think both ways of telling these stories are really fun and interesting. But yeah, I just really enjoyed. I mean, I live for character drama. I live for inter-character drama. It's like my favorite thing. So I was here for it. I was here for it so much. And what I really, really noticed and appreciated was the fact that all of the players were in those characters almost 100% of the time. I think because Critical Role is so long, the episodes are so long, like a lot of the time, you know, we get a lot of top over-the-table talk. There's a lot of like jokes to break the tension and whatnot. And I think this one, because of just the tone and the setting, they were just sitting in those characters almost the whole time. You could tell when they were breaking character because like their posture would change. I think Brendan at one point was like, I need to put Sean over here and I'm talking for now. You know, so I thought that was really, it made for a really entertaining experience to watch. I mean, we certainly got a few moments of lightness, and I think sometimes you do need that release. I think for, you know, these are all really experienced actors, so I think for a lot of people who are not that, you need a few more moments of like just getting that tension out of your body and like having a bit of a laugh. Like the whole chicken scene was absolutely ridiculous. It was really funny, but it felt like they needed like just a little moment of brevity. Yeah, so I really appreciated how much they sat in those characters and how they didn't shy away from them in those moments, you know, and that's the power of being actors, right? I mean, not everyone's going to be able to do that. I certainly couldn't do that. I have been in a very intense, emotionally intense game, which is the Die system in Roll to Cast, which is a podcast that's coming out right now. You can listen to it. It's very good. And it's certainly the most emotionally intense game that I've been in, and I found it really difficult sometimes to sit in that like intensity. So yes, I really, really appreciated it. The chickens were everything. Yes. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. Raina asks, was it better than Calamity is the question. I mean, I don't think you can compare the two because they are such different stories and different moments of storytelling. I love Calamity, especially because fantasy stuff is totally my jam. The more spooky Eldritch stuff is not super my jam. So I think that's why I enjoyed this chapter, because it was more about the characters rather than the, I mean, obviously it was about the plot and the spookiness, but I really connected with the characters, you know. So I don't think you can compare the two, but it certainly was very similar in the fact that they had very interconnected character dynamics from the get-go. I really love watching actual plays that have that, because I think it just really adds to the experience. There's certainly something to be said about the characters meeting each other for the first time in game, like what we saw in campaign 2 with the Mighty Nine, and of course with campaign 3. I think that's really fun too, especially for a long campaign, kind of getting to know each other, you have time. But when you have a short, super short campaign, you don't have time to be doing all that like getting to know you business. So it's good that they go in already with this sort of established relationships. Chapter 1 felt like the character stuff happened at the beginning and the end, but the characters were in professional work mode during the assignment. Chapter 2, their personal stuff was out in the open and exposed for each other to see. Yeah, I completely agree, Albius. Yeah, and the interpersonal stuff was so tied up in the, like, work, the assignment, that, like, they couldn't have escaped it even if they wanted to. You know? So, yeah, I think they totally nailed it in that regard. I was so excited to see Spencer GM this game. Obviously, he is one of the writers of the game, so I really wanted to see how he, you know, what his vision for the game was and how that was going to translate onto the table. And I've seen him, I've watched a bunch of his games of Alice is Missing, which, if you're not familiar with, is a completely silent role-playing game. Actually, I've got it. I'll go grab it. As I'm exposing my track pants. Oh no! A streamer wearing track pants! It's business at the top, house rat down the bottom. Okay, so Alice is Missing. Yeah, it's a silent role-playing game where the entire game is played via text message, and it's about a girl, everyone plays like teenagers in the game, a girl called Alice who goes missing, and the teenagers are all trying to solve it. It's like a very emotionally intense game, and yeah, if you're interested in it, there are some actual plays that Spencer has run that are available on YouTube. It's kind of a little bit difficult because you have to, they're not talking, so all of the text messages are displayed on the screen so that the audience can read them, and you're trying to sort of read them all at once, so it's a very different experience to like just watching an actual play. But anyway, so ever since I watched Alice is Missing, I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet myself, but ever since I watched that and then I heard that Spencer was working on Candela, I was just so thrilled because it really feels like he has such a great handle on managing this sort of emotional drama, and also he has an extremely cinematic style. Does Spencer use he, him pronouns? I probably should have checked. I feel like he does. I just want to double check that before I continue. I don't want to misgender anyone. I'll see if it's in the Twitter bio. But yeah, just an incredibly cinematic style, which I really appreciated because I find it really hard to, yeah, he, him. I find it really hard to imagine things. I don't have an imagination. I don't know if anyone saw on Twitter recently, or just like, I think it might have been on Facebook even as well, like this kind of chart going around that had like an apple sort of drawn in varying levels of detail. And I'm like on the bottom of that scale. Like I don't have much of a visual imagination. My imagination is much more like thematic. I don't know how to describe it. How do you describe what you see in your brain? But anyway, so I really appreciated him kind of narrating the scene and describing like how we pull back from, you know, this character and then we're looking through the window into this character. Like that really helped me get into it. And I know it's not for everybody. I know a few people commented that they didn't really gel with that style of GMing. But I really appreciated it. And I think Spencer was so masterful he basically was like a director of this scene. Like he would know the exact moment to cut away from something and move to something else, even if that moment was still partway through, because that's kind of what it's like in a movie, right? In a movie, we don't always get to see the resolution of a scene. We might see part of the scene and then we cut away from it and we're left to wonder, how did the rest of that scene play out? And that really adds such a fantastic, like, dynamic to it. I don't know. Yeah, an editor, director. Yeah, exactly. It was just very, like, had such a great handle on it. And I think the adventure itself felt less sandboxy than the first one, which I think makes sense. Like, Matthew Mercer has a very sandboxy DM style where he really does open up the world and allow the players to go wherever they want. Whereas this second chapter really felt a bit more directed. And I mean, I actually really like that, especially for a short run, because you know you only got 3 episodes. Like, we need to get this action going. And so I appreciated a more, like, heavier hand sounds negative, but I don't mean it in a negative way. Like, more directed hand. His control of the lights and the soundboard was so good. Yes, I'm so interested. Does anybody know, was the music dubbed in after? Because I know that he handled the sound effects and the lights, but I felt like the music matched up so well. And I was wondering if it was dubbed in after, because yeah, it just fit really perfectly. And I know they have their own score now as well. So I was wondering if they added it in afterwards. And yeah, I like seeing that kind of production stuff. I think it's really interesting. My only problem with that chapter was that Mira does not rhyme with here. Mira, oh right, I see.
Am I getting Ocean's 11 on my own fucking show? What the fuck is happening?
We read the book, Brennan. And by we, I mean just Emily.
Sometimes the GM being the one to cut a scene is exactly what's needed. I felt like he kept an amazing pulse on the energy of a moment. Yes, I agree, not for sale. Absolutely. Wasn't sure what to expect from Spencer since I've never seen him GM, but I really dig his style. It's very cinematic and third person. Yes. Yeah. I hope they added it afterwards. I think they might have added the music in afterwards. I didn't ever see him adjust the music, but I certainly saw him adjust the sound effects and the lights, because it's a lot to handle, doing everything yourself. I mean, I've always admired Matthew Mercer. He's like constantly doing stuff, and I'm like, you have a production studio. Get someone else to do the lights. But yeah. It was really good. It was very immersive for me. I love the cuts. Yeah, all the GMs I played with that are film people GM like him. Yeah. Oh, Harry says, did you see his Instagram takeover? He majored in film studies. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. That's fascinating. Yeah. I missed the Instagram takeover. I really appreciated how Spencer actively cuts off and establishes new scenes. Every D&D group has this awkward moment checking if everyone is down leaving a room. Yes, I agree, Desmond. And I think if you have like a longer session and you're playing a longer game or whatever, then that's, you know, totally fine to have those moments. But yeah, I think the player is just fully trusting him to direct those scenes. And, you know, occasionally they did interject and say, oh, can I just do one more thing? But yeah, I think sometimes, like, we don't need to hear them leaving the room. Like, I loved how he would be like, you know, they're like, okay, we're gonna go to this house. And he's like, okay, you're in the carriage. Like, we're already there. So I really, really appreciate that kind of, yeah, deft hand in kind of weaving the narrative. Have you tuned into Worlds Beyond Number? I have not. No, I haven't tuned into it yet. I really want to. It's on my list. I'm just desperately trying to make my way through so many media right now. I'm just trying to, I've got so much on my backlog. I'm still watching Campaign 1. I'm trying to catch up with some Dimension 20 seasons. I'm also trying to catch up on some like TV shows. I just finished Good Omens today. I'm not going to talk about it because no spoilers. That's not what we're here to talk about, but I'm not okay. Anyway. He leaves scenes midpoint. Yes. The scene cuts may also be excellent scene cuts for less experienced TTRPG players. Yeah. Spencer was also a producer on Critical Role before he moved over to game design. Is that right, Obvious? I didn't realize that. Yeah, Terry, you know what I'm talking about. There's a YouTube channel that saved the Instagram takeovers. Oh, excellent. Okay, good. Let's be on a number. Move it up the list. I know. I will. It's just, there's just so much. There's just too many amazing people doing really fantastic work out there right now. It's really hard to keep up. It's really, really hard to keep up. Okay, so I've raved about Spencer's GMing. Yeah, really, I feel like I learned so much from watching him work. I feel like I learned a lot. The Midnight Ambassador, thank you for the follow. Welcome him. I want to talk a little bit about, we're going to talk about the characters and sort of our favorite moments, but I want to talk about the overarching themes of this story. And I think this is why it was so intense, because it really felt like the theme of this whole chapter was like family and parental approval and like parenting. And I really don't think there is a single person on the planet who can say they have an absolutely perfect relationship with their parents. Even if you have a great relationship with your parents, there's always going to be some moments of like disconnect or, butting up against each other. And so I think it's just such a powerful theme to explore. And I think all of the characters really lent into that the family difficulty, like how sometimes it's really hard to be part of a family, and it's really hard to not have a family. I think it was just a really, yeah, to combine that with like Eldritch horror was really, really interesting. Because all of the characters, apart from maybe Marion, who I don't feel like we got to know anything really about his family, but his was more about found family, it felt like. Obviously, he had such a close relationship with Sean, like a brotherly relationship. Same with Auntie B, like she really saw herself as a caretaker of, you know, a lot of the people in the party. Yeah, I don't know. It was. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. What you thought of this theme, what you pulled away from it, because actually Spencer did retweet something. Hold on, let me find it. Where someone sort of talked about this, and he retweeted it and was like, "Yeah, this is exactly what I was going for." So let me find it. Let me see. Let me see where it is. I'm just scrolling. It was a little while ago, I think. Here we go. So this is from a Tumblr user called Captain of the Tide's Breath. And it says here, Needle and Thread is about, if it is about anything, parent and child relationships and the desperate desire for a closeness in the face of a yawning chasm of separation, physical, emotional, or both. Sean and Margaret, the creature and mother, Nathaniel and his father, Jean and hers, Allison and Lucas, even Beatrix and the child she never had transferred onto Sean. Marion is the only major character who does not fit neatly and completely into this pattern, despite the brief look at his relationship with his father. That desire for closeness, even when there is immense strain in the relationship, even when that desire has been suppressed into more of an involuntary instinct, escalates over the chapter until incredible violence is being committed in an effort to reduce those distances. So it goes on a fair bit, but then, yeah, Spencer's written, so satisfying to see a thorough breakdown of the major theme we worked hard to weave into the latest season of Candela Obscura at every turn. That North Star helped to inform so much of how I prepped each session and framed each scene, especially in the flashbacks. So here, I'll post that into here. Will it let me? Oh, it won't let me do it. Why? Okay. Oh, my Twitch chat was not updating on my... Oh, I just thought nobody was talking to me. But my Twitch chat was not updating on my little pop-out. Oh, sorry. I realized slow mode is on. I don't need it. Okay. Marion's story kind of got fleshed out through implications, through all these tiny references to his past. Yeah. Family, the theme of family was beautiful because horror does deal with the pieces most horrifying to us as people, and family is where so many of us have our deepest pain. Yeah, absolutely. So Desmond Dragon, you didn't really enjoy the ending. Our Four-Sided Dive is on today, Fickle. It's on at, you might just be confused because of the daylight savings, so it'll be in just under an hour, 50 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a great point, that a lot of people's deepest pain is related to their family, which, you know, is like some of your deepest love and your deepest pain can be related to your family. So I think it was an absolutely perfect theme. All right, let's get into some of the actual like story of the chapter. I would love to hear from all of you what some of your favorite moments were. I'll talk a little bit about some of mine. I really enjoyed, I think someone said this earlier, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but I really enjoyed how for the first episode we just like totally dived right into the action of whatever was happening, and there was sort of this like we didn't know what was going on. We had no idea what they were trying to do, but it was just a really like fun way to get into it, and I really enjoyed that. It felt like the first episode was very much like action, dive into the action, and then the last episode really ended with a lot of like action, and then we kind of got this really cool bit in the middle. So that was really, I really enjoyed that sort of pacing. especially for myself, I personally find like combat to be really hard to pay attention to in D&D, but because Candela is such a more narrative and like rules light system, it felt very much like watching a movie or something to me. It was really good. Sean as a character resonated with me so much, especially as I have family in the military and grew up with that background. Family pain is so serious. It was touching to see it displayed. Yeah, that's something I personally can't, I don't have a lot of experience in. I certainly do have family members who have served, but it was mostly like my grandparents. I don't really have too many connections with people in the military these days. I have a couple of family members, but yeah, so it's not necessarily a theme that I'm really familiar with, but I imagine that would have, especially those themes of war and things like that, would have really resonated for a lot of people. Absolutely. The time travel bit, it blew my mind. Yeah. Yes, and Desmond Dragon saying, I love the ending. Hope it doesn't feel like one player stealing another player's thunder. Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't necessarily feel that. I really enjoyed the ending, and I thought it was appropriate. I guess this is really big spoilers, but very appropriate that 2 characters died because, you know, they've been hammering home that this is a hard world. This is not an easy thing, and the stakes felt so high every single time. The stakes just felt enormous the whole time. So I'm glad that we did actually get that. I feel like it really made the story. The scene with Sean brutally murdering everyone was so good. Yeah, I think a lot of people know Brennan for his like funny, goofy style, but when you have watched, you know, him DM, if you've watched any of Dimension 20, like he goes there really often. Playing villains, playing the drama, even in a comedy series, there's always moments where he pulls it back. And I think there's something so fascinating about that because, you know, there's always this idea about comedy being the opposite of tragedy and those two things being intertwined. And I think, yeah, Brennan is such an incredible villain. I wouldn't call Sean a villain. I mean, obviously he was not Sean in the end, but like, he's good at going to those really dark places and not shying away from it. I think, yeah, that absolutely broke my heart. Like, oh my god, I'm actually getting so emotional. Oh, but gosh, this scene, I mean, Spencer, how fucking dare you? The scene after Sean goes to town on those guys and then we learn that his mother is in the room. What the fuck? Like, I literally yelled at my screen. I was driving because I've been trying to catch up. So I was driving and I have my phone. I'm not like watching it while I'm driving, but I'm listening. And I was in my car park at work because I could see that we were coming up to the break. And so I was like, right, I'm just going to sit in the car park and listen to the rest of this little bit because I feel like the break's coming up. And then when he pulled that out, I yelled in my car. I was like, no! Because that killed me. That destroyed me. Just the thought of my child doing the most heinous things, the ugliest things, because they feel so broken and they have nothing left but this thing. Oh, it just killed me. It destroyed me. It was wild. It was wild. Was he not Sean? I thought he'd willingly taken the deal. Yeah, no, I suppose I should say, like, it was Sean, but it felt like Sean had gone down this path that, yeah, I don't know. I guess I misspoke. Like, it was Sean, but it felt like he was so lost. I mean, I feel like we never actually got to see the real Sean. Or maybe we saw the realist Sean. I don't know. Brennan, what the fuck? But do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he was so broken that he wasn't like Sean anymore and he was something else. I don't know. I don't mean like in a like, oh, he was actually a creature in disguise. Yeah, I meant like, I don't know, he just seemed so broken. He just seemed he was super broken. Yeah. Shaunt. Yeah, but that mum reveal, that will haunt me. That will haunt me for the rest of my days. Spencer, we're mutuals on Twitter. Just send me a quick DM telling me what the fuck. Yeah. All right, let me scroll up. Yeah, Spencer was dirty for that one. Yeah, Spencer, turn on your location. We just want a word. No doxing Spencer. Yeah, it was Sean, but in the same way Percy wasn't really Percy. Yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing. You saw a bit of it when he handled those demon dogs in episode 1. Yes, and I think, you know, like I said, like I said with, you know, I don't have a lot of experience being, you know, in a military family or something like that, but obviously war is a horrific thing for anyone who experiences it, and just really leaning into that horror of it, that these people are fundamentally changed and broken by what has happened to them. I mean, you know, it's not make-believe, that's what happens. I mean, we're seeing it happen all the time. So yeah, I think, yeah, we did kind of, he had this very light-hearted nature, which I should have known that Brennan was bloody leading us down the garden path, ready to snap us in half. The moment when it was finally revealed that Sean was against the party was also just absolutely incredible. When Spencer took him out of the room, gave him that offer of like, this is what's going to happen, we're going to go out of the room and do it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Incredible. Oh, it was so good. It was so much drama. I loved it. Yeah. I live for that shit. I live for it. Oh, man. He always said he was a monster. Yeah, and I think it was in the beginning, it was like, I was like, no, you're not. You're just like a sweet boy who just needs some like love and care. And it was like, oh no, you're, I don't know if therapy is going to be enough for this, you know? Oh, man. Making that deal, he wanted to leave as much of his humanity behind. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if he ever contemplated that his mother was going to see that side of him, you know? What if they went behind the curtain and Spencer just said, have fun, buddy? Yeah, maybe that too. He lost so much of himself in the war, yeah. I love when they hide decisions like that from the rest of the party. Me too. See, that's the kind of secret stuff that I really like, because I like when the characters know each other so well, but then you still have these moments of secrecy. Oh, Abyssal Icarus, I didn't see your question about the teaser for Chapter 3. I have seen it. We're going to watch it all together in a little bit. Yeah, sorry, no, I just missed your chat. But yeah, that was completely phenomenal. Travis's face when Sean said, I don't know how to be around soft things anymore. I'm not a gardener. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that really got me. It really got me, man. Whew. Yeah, and also just because I'm not feeling 100% physically, just like, just weeping at 6 a.m. in my lounge room while I'm watching this show. And then my kid gets up and he's like, good morning. And I'm like, my baby, come here. Oh, man. Travis's face is always all of us. Yeah, he definitely embodies a lot of his reactions. But yeah, I think it was really good. It was absolutely beautiful. Oh, we will get to chapter 3 in a second, but oh my god, can you imagine what Liam O'Brien is going to do to us in this bloody setting? Another one who's very good at twisting the knife. I was watching during my lunch break at work and was full on sobbing at the end. Oh no, yeah. There have been times when I've been at work watching Critical Role or other things and just being like, keep it together, Luna. Yeah. It was really good. I just feel like all of the characters gelled so well. So Travis playing Nathaniel Trapp I thought was really interesting because it kind of felt like in the beginning he was gonna be more of like a leader type character, just because like that's kind of the stereotype, right? Like he sort of had this presence about him, very put together, very controlled. And that's not how it ended up at all. And he ended up having so much of his own grief and suffering that really came through. You know, it was such a small... Small's not the right word. But, like, it wasn't like this, you know, big kind of overarching thing like Marion had, where, like, my soul had been taken by something. It was like, my brother died, I couldn't save him, and my father hates me. You know? It was like that... And he just nailed it so well in those, like, flashback scenes. Speaking of the flashback scenes, I really want to also hand it to all of the players and to Spencer of just... Those were so great. I felt like the players really led them. I loved when Zara as Jean, but then, like, played her father in the flashback. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, restrained is a great word, not for sale. Yeah, that's... It was sort of... Yeah, it was there. Also, Cheeky Monkey, hello, and Diggy Dog, yes, I guess it is my house. Yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. He did kind of come through. He definitely came through for Lucas. And, oh, I just wish we could see, at the very end. Oh, God. Stop! At the very end when he sort of says, me and Auntie B are going to be here for you every step of the way. And I was like, I just wish we could see that play out. Him being able to sort of be that father figure that he felt like he never had. I thought that was really beautiful. The kitties have grown so much. I know, they don't fit in their little bed anymore. Look at them, they're so big. Yeah, I'm talking about you, kitties. Yeah. About you. I need to buy them a bigger bed for sure. Oh goodness. Sam's going to be sneaky brutal, I think. Yeah, Sam's gonna devastate us. I mean, yeah, Sam is also very good at being the ones who, has kind of like a bit of a funny storyline, but that it ends up being really devastating. I'm very excited to see what Sam is gonna do for sure. The rest of the time he can rip your heart out. Yeah, exactly. In episode 1, I thought he was going to play, just speaking of Travis, a perpetually unprepared investigator who can somehow barely survive scraps based on the first combat. That was before he was revealed he was a LT. Yeah. Well, I think sometimes the votes just go, the votes. Sorry, I was looking at the YouTube poll thing was flashing at me and said votes. The roles just can kind of go against you, so I think it's yeah, it was really an interesting character, and I loved that, like, we got like a character switch, like it's not called class. Is it called class in this game, or is it specialization? I don't remember, but it was I love that we got that, like, switch partway through. That was really interesting and really fun. I actually was kind of surprised he went to detective. I thought maybe he was gonna go, because what was he before? Journalist? We never really got to see the journalist side of him come out very much. But I was wondering if he was going to go more, like, soldier, back into his, like, soldier training. Yeah. Shadow Blazer, nice to meet you. I am Bolo. Welcome. Sam's going to go turbo. Yeah. Sam speed running the funny to tragic in 3 episodes. Yeah. Off for another meeting. No worries, shorty. Have a good rest of the week. Is it roll? Yeah, I can't remember. You gotta head away to Icarus? No worries. Yeah, I think for Nathaniel, we didn't really get to see much of, like, yeah, like that, like, journalism side and whatnot, but I actually don't mind that, because I really do feel like in this game, the mechanics really support the narrative rather than, like, what am I trying to say? But, like, yeah, it's just, like, rules light. Like, it's just, they're there to tell a story, and, we don't need too much of them. Like, the player is really built out everything else around it. Abria's comments on each player in Chapter 3 from Tumblr. Each cast member clears in a sentence. Ashley, a character pitch so bold, I had to build mechanics to support it. Gina nails the balance of playing character with so much to lose, like she has nothing to lose. Nashir, unreal commitment and just so goddamn game to get nasty. Liam, built specifically by the Lord to shatter hearts with his dramatic choices. Sam, however good you think he is, he's better. Oh, very excited. Very, very excited. Yes. Oh, yeah. What are some other favorite moments of yours from chapter 2, sorry. I really loved, there was that beautiful scene between Marion and Jean, and I really loved, there was a moment when I think Spencer calls back to like Brennan and Marisha for a role or something, and he's like, what? Were you talking to me? I was just watching a movie just now. I feel like Zara and Christian really, Luis, sorry. Where's my brain? Zara and Luis really went there in so many scenes. And I was shipping it from the very beginning. I'm not a shipper, but I was like, oh, come on. This is too much. You have to do it. And so, yeah, I was extremely pleased and also heartbroken at the end when Luis is narrating that Jean is seeing all these flashes of a life that could have been. Oh, that also destroyed me. And when she goes to visit his garden and to take the petunias to start her own garden now. Oh, it's too much. Any intense moment between Marion and Sean? Yeah, when Sean would help him calm down. Yes, it was very vulnerable. Yeah. Again, Marion also felt like one who was very broken, but then by the end seemed to have had so much character growth in how he perceived himself and how he felt about the world around him. It was like there was a scene, where he got completely lost in the bleed or whatever. And Sean kind of pulled him back and grounded him again. And it was clear it was something that they'd done before, plenty of times before. And, so he did seem so kind of broken in those moments. But then really beautiful character growth by the end. Just being like, I might not have a soul, but I'm enough. And then, like, just the absolute batshit insane time travel of, like, I was the one that took my own soul, and now I'm putting my soul in Jean. Like, that could totally blew my mind. And Spencer just 100% rolling with it. Like, yeah, the absolute trust between all of them is just so good. And I know so much of the time when I am GMing, I get really caught up in the rules. Sometimes I get really caught up in how things work mechanically, and I kind of forget sometimes to just be in the moment and just, go along with things. And I think that's a big thing that I learned from watching Spencer was just how much yes and there was, and how much it was like, you know what, I don't really know how the mechanics support this, but we're going to make it work. I don't know if I can't even really ever recall that many moments when there was like, no, you can't do that. Like, there was some times when it was like, no, that's not how the rules work, whatever. But like most of the time it felt like it was like whatever they suggested, it made it work. But it felt like none of them really suggested things that were so out of bounds and out of this world. Everything felt, even despite it being totally crazy spiritual stuff, or spooky stuff, like it all still felt very grounded and in the story. Yeah. All right, let me catch up. I was on a little rant, and I didn't keep up with the chat. Zara did phenomenal for her first TTRPG. Yeah, was that her first? Yeah, she has such an intense way of speaking in that character that was very, very engaging. Anytime she was talking, it felt very, really capturing my attention. I'd like to see the background on what brought Nathaniel to Candela. Yeah, I guess it would have something to do with like the journalism stuff, perhaps investigating a story, finding out things. It was really interesting about how they had obviously all been working as a circle together for a long time, whereas it felt like the other group, I think initially in chapter 1, I believe that all of them were supposed to have worked together except for Ashley's character, whose name Augie. He was supposed to be new to the group, but then I think there was this moment where one of the characters introduced themselves to the other characters, and it was like, oh, they hadn't actually been a circle before, which is obviously totally fine to have it start out that way. But it was really clear in chapter 2 that they had been a circle working together for a while. Yeah. I really loved Auntie B. Her dynamic in the party felt so important also when that thing was going down her throat. Oh, I know! Yeah. That was great. I loved Auntie B as well. I thought Marisha did such a fantastic job of exploring, again, like a very sad and quiet story of someone who's lost their family, who has found family, who's looking out for other people, you know, really, really beautiful. Big difference between Marion and Sean is that Sean already thinks he's condemned and settled with that truth. Marion actively seeks a lot of love and affirmation. That's a really great point, Desmond. Yeah, Sean is already like, I'm a monster, I'm done. Whereas Marion Marion talked so much about, you know, not being held back or constrained by the past. And yeah, I think that was a great kind of comparison. Sean really felt trapped in the past, really constrained and affected by the past, whereas Marion was all about like moving forward in the future. Yeah. When Brennan went full psycho on all the people who wronged his mother, that entire scene had me on the edge of my seat yelling at my computer. I agree, Greg. Yeah. It was brutal. And so matter of fact, just describing the way going about it. Oh man, yeah, Brennan cold hard killer when he wants to be.
Incredible.
Oh, what's this? Useless Mitten, thank you so much for gifting a sub. Thank you. And also the Midnight Ambassador, thank you so much for the follow 27 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I already said thank you. But yeah, thank you so much for gifting a sub. We will be doing a giveaway for a Critical Role shop voucher at 200 new subs. So that's there on Twitch. Do you think Sean made the deal originally or think he tried to fight against it? I think he took the deal. For sure. God, I wish we could get a 4-sided dive for Candela. Like, I want to know more about this stuff. Sorry, I know I'm so far behind on the chat. Spencer said in an interview that some of the things from chapter 1 and 2 weren't in the book and they had to add them after they filmed because they had an encounter for those situations. Oh, really, Saren? That's interesting. Knowing that Spencer was targeting Brennan, he would have impersonated whoever Sean pursued in episode 2's end. Wild to think the woman could have been killed instead. Sorry, what? Hold on, let me catch up with that. What does that mean? Knowing that Spencer was targeting Brennan, he would have impersonated whoever Sean pursued. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand, Desmond. Sorry. Might need to catch me up. Chapter 1, they were brand new, specifically Augie. Howard and Charlotte knew each other, but not as a circle. And Howard had been... Yeah, I remember there being a moment where it was like... It felt like they were all supposed to know each other already. I'm not saying that was actually true, but I feel like just in the story, it kind of felt like that. So true about 4-sided dive for Candela. Yeah. I would just really love to just hear them discuss their characters a bit more and kind of get that detail. When you really watched it in the episode, what were your thoughts on what Sean chose? Because I was kind of thinking Marion was the one thing he might not give up. Brennan loves the emotional damage. Oh, as in like what deal? I don't know if I had an expectation. I think I just was rolling with it. I'm one of those people that like, I don't see twists coming ever in anything, even when they're really obvious, which is actually great for me because it means that things are super entertaining for me all the time because I'm like, whoa, that was amazing. And Jared is like, obviously. So I don't think I think I just wanted to see it play out and I wanted to see what would happen. But I know that like all of these people know what they're doing. They're making a TV show. You know, the drama is it, and there's nothing more dramatic than having like an imposter in the group out to get you, you know? So when we had that amazing reveal of when Brennan is acting shocked about there being an explosion and Spencer just fully calling him out on it and being like, you're acting shocked, but you're lying to the other players right now. Like you, Brennan, as a person are lying to the other players because you set those explosives. So I thought that was really fascinating. Really fun to see. Yeah. You know, they know what they're doing. They know that they're making like a dramatic show. Yeah. I don't think Spencer was targeting Brennan. He showed his prep for episode 2 and Duncan is bad or something to that effect was on the prep sheet. Right. Yeah. That was, I think, such a great turning point in the story was when we realized that Duncan was not Duncan. Like that really was extremely exciting. It made things very internal, very personal. Yeah, I enjoyed that twist for sure. Spencer was in the chat that night. He said it was all really Sean and not an imposter. Yeah. Hello from America. I missed the beginning. Oh, that's okay, Jason. You can always go back and watch later if you want. Yeah, there was some other really wonderful moments. I feel like we got some really nice like little world building. It was really interesting to see the inside of Grey Slate, because that's just something that we sort of have heard about. So Grey Slate is like the asylum essentially, but often the what is the section of the periphery called that deals with the occult? What is that called again? I know it. It's there in my brain. I made a whole video about it. I can't remember what it's called. It's not EOS. It's something else. Anyway, whatever the subsection of the periphery is that deals with the occult, a lot of the time when they find people who have been affected by bleed, they will send them to the Grey Slate sanatorium. So like, it's full of like a lot of people who have just been like really hurt by what they've seen and are just kind of put away to keep them quiet because they're all about covering up everything that happens with the occult. So it was interesting to see the inside of that place and to sort of, you know, get a glimpse at just how awful it is. And even just the name Grey Slate is just really depressing. It's just a really depressing name and a really depressing place. So getting a little bit to see that, getting to hear a little bit more about how the land is still so impacted by the war, like the West Rec minefield and things like that. It was, yeah, it was really fun to kind of see that. I feel like chapter 1 really introduced us to a lot of different districts of the city. Like we were in Red Lamp a lot, we were in the Eaves occasionally, we were in the Steel. So yeah, it was nice kind of just seeing a couple more locations fleshed out. I'm really interested to see as well. Oh, we also saw a bit of the Scarlet Wood. I'm interested to see more of that kind of outer world fleshed out too. Yeah, because it is a really fun setting. It's a really cool setting. Speaking of twists, how about that letter reveal moment with Sean? I know, that blew my mind. As soon as he started reading that letter, and it wasn't actually the letter, ugh, destroyed me. Yes, that was really great. And that was such a great glimpse as to the driving factor for Sean, that he was he had such a negative view of himself, like such a dark image of himself, which was only, you know, his actions reinforced that belief in himself, that belief in himself reinforced his actions. It's like, I am a worthless monster, so of course I'm gonna do this horrible thing because that's who I am. I've done this really horrible thing, which makes me a worthless monster. You know, it's just this kind of cyclical thing of just, yeah, constantly feeding into that rather than breaking out of that cycle. Yeah. And then when they had the second letter, oh, all the props in this was so good. I love props. Oh, I'm so excited. I've got I'm doing my own Court of Fae and Flowers campaign, and I've got all these ideas for like props I want to make, which is starting next week. So yeah, just like more props, please. Is there transcripts for Candela? The YouTube usually does have transcripts that have been uploaded by Critical Role, I believe. So yeah. Need to find all the interviews I read. Yeah. One of my favorite moments is when Spencer tells shocked Brennan, you texted me. Yeah. I was just talking about that before, Greg. Yeah, about how, like, you know, why are you acting shocked? You're the one, you know exactly what's happening. Hey, Rachel, how you going? Hope you're having a nice lunch break. It's such a nice day. Get some sunshine. It's beautiful. Brennan killed it, pun intended. Yes. When you already think you're a monster, it doesn't matter what you do. You're always just going to be the worst. Yeah, and just not being able to break out of that. Yeah, like we said before, it's such an interesting parallel with Marion, who felt like he had kind of broken out of some of that negative thinking by the end. The changes in the makeup from episode to the next too. Yeah, I loved that. The production values for this show are just getting better and better every week. I really, really enjoyed that. Oh man, I would still love to see a little more post-production done. This is purely just selfish. Like, I would love it if when he was reading the letter, we got like a little, you know, video overlay of the letter so we could kind of look at it ourselves, or, you know, just little things like that. But I know it's obviously a lot of work. They're already doing a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with these production values and how they're gonna just, yeah, increase each week. And I thought that Spencer's use of like the set also was really great, like how he referenced actual things in the set that were like, these are part of the world, was really fun too. I mean, I love that set. It's such a gorgeous, it's so gorgeous. And the fact that it's all practical, love it. It's beautiful. It's really, really good. Yeah, props, that's right. You gotta call out the props every time. Terry says, I love the rawness of it. Too much production really takes it away from me. Fair enough, yeah. I don't mind a few more bells and whistles, but I totally get that it's not for everybody. It's hard because I love on Dimension 20 how we get close-ups of the characters when they're having moments. Like, it would have been beautiful to see some close-ups of some of those characters when they're in these like really intense moments. But I also love that it is great to see everybody reacting at once. You can kind of see everyone's reactions. So it's kind of like, how can I have the best of both worlds? I guess the way I have the best of both worlds is to watch like clips of people who've edited. Yeah, stopping the astrolabe from turning. Yes. The moment with Marion talking about all the kids out there with his abilities he could help, and Sean going, I'm not good with kids, was a subtle but solid way to reflect the nature and difference of their relationship. Yeah. I really love the astrolabe necklaces Spencer gave them. Yes! Does anyone know if they posted a picture? I haven't seen one, but I haven't also been online very much the last week or so. And no, Saren, I missed the Instagram takeover, so apparently someone's put them up on YouTube, so I'll have to go watch those later. Oh, man. I don't know if it was possible, but chapter 3 feels even more dark. Yes, well, anyway, we're running out of time, so let's have a little look at chapter 3, the trailer for chapter 3 together, and we can have a little talk about it. Have to wait for Marisha Ray Gun. Yeah, exactly. Give us those little close-ups. Okay. Feels like we're gonna get a different setting as well, like a different area for this next chapter as well. Let me find it. Okay, hold on. I've got to put it in. I forgot to set this up already. I always forget to do this. Hold on. Let me just add it in to the overlay real quick so everybody can see it. Doing the thing, stuff, things, very exciting. Okay. Oh, and let me get my captions over here real quick as well. Captions. Why do I have so many here? I don't know. Cool. All right, let's do this. So this is the trailer for the next chapter, in case you don't want any spoilers. I'll turn up the audio a little bit so hopefully we can all hear it.
You might as well come in. I know you're there. You reek of my favorite flavors.
The gods of the sea are fair. Who am I to question a god?
All right, Professor. Let's see it done. This circle is not broken, but it is most certainly bent.
I know you want this to be more than just one of your regular missions, but I've stopped trying.
Not again. You don't get to do this to me again. Not without me being here too. So you can come out, but you're going to play nice.
It is not an easy burden that Candela bears. We have carried it for centuries. Tide and bone, keepers of the light.
Very cool. Extremely cool. I'm excited about this cast. It's going to be really good. Yeah, Sam eating a Werther's. I know. Oh, man. So I want to talk about a couple of little details. I'm just going to turn this down. So first of all, Abria's outfit.
You might as well come in.
Hold on, I'll turn this down a little bit.
I know you're there.
Like,
You reek of my
she
favorite
looks
flavor.
stunning. And I saw this fantastic tweet. Hold on, let me find it real quick. From Abria about the wardrobe. Let me find it real quick. What time is it? Oh, so I know we're going to be finishing up really soon because the four-sided dive is going to start soon. Yeah, where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, just to so Matt and Spence are picking their Candela outfits. Edwardian gentleman, waistcoat, sweater vest, dark academia, business, professor, business. Abria Iyengar picking out her outfit. And then Abria said, just imagine me shrieking, you get that fucking vest away from me. Yeah, she looks just stunning, the makeup. Gina Darling as well. This outfit is so gorgeous. The costuming. Mint. Like, look at this jacket. Look at this freaking jacket. It's so nice. Oh my gosh.
Let's see it done.
It's stunning.
This circle is not broken, but it is most certainly bent.
All the little props.
I know you want this to be more.
Sam being a Edwardian gentleman with the waistcoat. Peaky Blinders vibes for sure. Seems like a more higher class group, or like more, yeah, richer maybe. Well, it definitely seems like Sam's character is gonna be, maybe like more of a violent criminal character is the vibe that I'm getting. And oh, I'm so excited about Ashley Burch. Oh, love it. This moment where her eyes flash red, incredibly cool.
Without me being here too. So you can come out, but you're going to play nice.
It is not an easy.
I'm not gonna lie, as soon as Liam started talking, I could not stop laughing at the old man voice. I know it's gonna be great, but there was just something about it, it just kind of took me by surprise. I love the little spectacles.
Carried it for centuries. Tide and bone.
Yeah, this set is so beautiful as well, because this looks very different from the previous sets. I mean, yeah, it looks amazing. I want to live there. Can I live there, please? Yeah, I live for these extremely dramatic cast group shots. Like, it's so cool. Hey, Maddie P, how you going? Not working today. No, yeah, I'm having a sick day today because I'm not feeling super great. Yeah, oh, sorry, we were going to catch up, weren't we? Oh, shit, sorry. I totally forgot. Sorry. It's actually a vampire, yeah. Economically, this group feels far more calamity rich than New Adventurer. Yeah, although maybe not. Yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, absolutely, Gina Darling looks like she is playing one for sure. Liam's gonna bring it. Oh no, I 100% agree that Liam's going to bring it, but it just made me laugh a little bit, the old man voice. Yeah. Oh goodness. All right. Well, Four-Sided Dive is about to start very soon, so I'm going to wrap things up here for today. But thank you so much for joining me today for this discussion of Chapter 2 of Candela Obscura. Yeah, I really enjoyed digging into some of the themes with all of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out in the next one. I think, yeah, I think I'm getting the vibes now. I'm getting the spooky vibes. I'm not being such a little scaredy cat to watch it. But yeah, thanks. Feel better soon. Thank you, Not For Sale. Yeah, honestly, this has actually really improved my mood. I was feeling pretty garbage before I started streaming. But yeah, I think that's it. I guess a couple of quick announcements. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Hi. I make a lot of Critical Role videos, so you should subscribe so you don't miss a video or a live stream. And if you're here on Twitch, unfortunately, I will not be doing my pre-stream again this week. It's my kids' sports day on Friday, so I will not be doing pre-stream, but I will be doing a discussion of the next episode this time next week. So you can keep an eye out for that in the Discord. And we do have a watch party every single week in the Discord if you want to check it out. It's discord.gg/Luboffin. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!